Ready. Set.
Gamecast.
Well, welcome to Ready, Set, Gamecast, a bi-weekly podcast about video games and motivation. I'm Bryce, and I'm joined by the greatest motivational speaker of our podcast, Darian.
Of our podcast. So, I guess that's fair.
Is it?
Yeah. I would say so.
Okay.
Yeah. Now Darian needs motivation.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm not very motivational.
And the man who has never said no to opportunity, Teddy Chinaris.
That's a flat out lie. Even without meaning to. Or purposefully and not purposefully. 100%. Every day.
So, Teddy Chinaris, what is your motivational advice?
Oh, man, dude. Just... What I know what I should say, right? But what I want to say is if you're me right now, here's what I know I should. I should say with my brain. But here's what I want to say with my emotions, right? Go to Publix, the store right down the road, or your nearest grocery store. Get a gallon of goldfish, right? A big old bag of Bunch of Crunch, right? What else? Some Haribo gummy bears, right? Some Chex Mix, and come back and just eat all of it and live your best life. But don't actually do that. That's terrible advice. That's the literal opposite of what you should do.
I like that advice. It sounded really good.
Don't do that. That's a bad idea.
Darian, what's your motivational advice?
This is what I'm feeling.
Oh, wait, I've got one. Hold on. I got it.
Dare it! Dare to dream! Shoot for the stars!
Okay, then.
Dare to dream, shoot for the stars.
Just shoot for the stars.
Or you could shoot...
Hold on, immediately followed by this.
Bird! 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 Bird!
I don't even know what is that? What is he
He's
saying?
saying bird.
Okay.
Bird!
Cool.
Bird.
Hey, Darian, have there been any birds in the video games you've been playing?
No, but you know what there has been? Steve the Hare Harrington, as well as a couple other, other Stranger Things characters are in Dead by Daylight. And oh my God. So I was listening to the last podcast we did, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm really excited. I'm going to play Nancy. It's going to be great. No, fuck Nancy. Steve is the sexiest motherfucker I've ever seen. Oh my God.
In the game or just
in
the actor?
They made him so good. Oh, I was expecting garbage, but holy shit, he looks just like the actor. It's so good. Oh my God. And it's really funny because right now there's a glitch. So if you die, your character gets lifted up by the entity who consumes it, right? But the body disappears before it's all the way up. But there's a glitch where the hair particle stays behind. So Steve's body disappears and his hair just floats up in the sky.
I feel like that's very fitting for that character.
It's so funny.
That's great.
But yeah, so Stranger Things is in Dead by Daylight. The Hawkins lab map is really good for both the killer and the survivor because there's so many little twists and turns. You can lose the killer if you're being chased. It's really easy to find a survivor who's trying to avoid you by oh, I'll just duck behind this corner. Oh shit, there's the killer right there. Okay, well, it's really fun. The atmosphere of the Hawkins lab is freaking creepy because it's post when the Demogorgon is ravished or just completely just destroyed it. So there's still the gate and it's pulsing and there's dead scientists and there's still just it's they were in the middle of something when the Demogorgon came and just destroyed everything. And it's great how they captured it. There's when you're near the gate, you can hear it pulsing for a while, and there's particles just floating through the air, you're not entirely in the universe you're supposed to be in. There's some pouring in from the upside down. It's great. the only thing that makes me sad about it is that they did not use the actors for the voices for Nancy and Steve, but it's fine because the one that did Steve isn't great, but the one that did Nancy is pretty good. So like when she gets hit and she screams, it sounds really good.
That's what's important.
It's a weird thing to be excited about, but yeah, the Demogorgon is horrifying to play against because he can like make portals and crawl into the Upside Down and just like appear in other portions of the map. Like, it's terrifying, but it's great. They did a really good job.
Is the map like season 2 stuff?
I guess.
Because like the Steve is in his Ahoy outfit, right?
He's got a regular outfit. They do have season 3 outfits available with the oh gosh, what's the name of the place that he works?
The Ahoy Magoy ship.
Perfect, you nailed it. Scoops Ahoy.
Yeah.
So that's a downloadable content, like extra DLC you have to pay for to get their Scoops Ahoy, and then like Nancy has like a reporter costume. But their base stuff is just like he's in jeans and a like long sleeve tee, and she's just in jeans and a t-shirt and stuff. It's pretty basic, but the map. Is that season 2 stuff? No, it's definitely season 1 stuff.
Well, I mean, season 3 was the Mind Flayer. We really didn't see any Demogorgons.
Yeah, and season 2 was like the return of the Demogorgon.
Yeah, there was a lot of Demodogs.
And the beginning of the Mind Flayer, but like no, it's definitely season 1 map.
Okay.
Season probably 2 Steve and Nancy, but season 3 extra costumes, I think. If I had to guess.
It's across the
because
board.
Steve and Nancy would have to Steve and Nancy would have to be old enough that they're not 18 anymore. Because otherwise there's like a weird thing about killing kids over and over again. So they're definitely adults. Their models are supposed to be adults.
Is that a thing? Like you can't put...
I don't think it is. I think it's just something that makes people feel icky. So that's something that Dead by Daylight has actively avoided. Like they don't want to put Chucky in there because the idea of watching a kid kill people over and over again is not great. Because Chucky's a doll who's modeled after a kid. This is something they've talked about. This is why they don't want to do this. Like they don't feel good about the idea of killing a child over and over again or watching a child kill over and over again. Like they're not comfortable with it, which is why they won't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, in general, when in scary movies, kids usually don't die. I mean, like, I think all the kids survive in the first It. Is that...
No.
No?
I mean, Georgie dies in the first 10 minutes of It.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
like,
a good point.
That's not a thing at all.
That's a good point.
I know that there's like 7 kids in It, and I think like
the core kids all survive.
Yeah, okay.
In It, but like there are multiple on-screen kid deaths. Like, I guess not like portrayed, I guess.
Yeah.
Georgie's pulled into the sewer before he dies.
Yeah.
But the idea that he dies happens.
In Stranger Things season 3, they kind of showed that a kid was possessed, and then we knew that what happened to the people that were possessed, but we didn't see the kid die. He didn't get gooed. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so Dead by Daylight DLC is great. They did a really good job. The Stranger Things DLC, I've been hyped about it for a month, and it's great. And I couldn't be happier. In League of Legends news, they released a new set of Star Guardian skins, but they're like dark Star Guardians.
Ooh, evil.
So yeah. So like they released Nico, who's supposed to be like one of in Star Guardian lore, one of like Ari's team members who was lost, as well as Zaya and Rakan, who were lost but they died, and they came back as Dark Star Guardians. And Zoe like made them do that, I guess. I don't know. The lore is kind of weird, but the skins are really pretty, and Zaya and Rakan are like hashtag relationship goals. They're so fucking amazing. And the skins are beautiful. The voice acting is great. The particles and the colors and the whole idea of it is great. David and I are learning to play Zai and Rakan together because I want to do a cosplay of them with him. Super cheesy, but I'm excited.
I'm looking up what they look like just because I'm curious.
They're bird people.
So there
Also, there are birds in the video games that you've been playing.
Yeah, I guess. They're bird people. They're called
Dude, they
Vistaya.
totally are.
Yeah, they're pretty great. And they're corny as fuck. Like, they have lines together where, like, they're flirting with each other. Like, he's flirting with her and she's denying him, and it's great. I'm like, David, this is us. This is actually us. You hit
That's
on me
awesome.
all the time, and I'm just like, ugh, stop. Gross. And that's their relationship. It's great. He's, like, super corny and cheesy, and she's a bitch, and I love it. I also played a solid, like, 4 hours of Mutazione before I got on the stream today, because that was
there you go.
released on Thursday or Friday this week. It was released on Steam. I got an email about it. I bought it right away. Anyway, Mutazione is really good.
Are you actually liking it so far?
Oh my god, I love it. It's just like really dramatic. The story's great. I like how it starts because it starts like really enigmatic, like you're not really sure what's going on, and then you're just like thrown into the island where all of the mutants have kind of been isolated from the rest of the world, and you learn little by little like what's going on the island and like who the people are and what your grandpa does, and because you go to the island because your grandpa is dying and your mom can't go or doesn't want to go or whatever. I'm not really sure. But you start to learn like bits of the story, like who the people of the island are and, you know, what your grandpa's significance on this island is, what he does, and like what the world has been since I think it's called the Moon Dragon happened.
That sounds
which is
right.
basically the meteor that struck and made everyone mutants, from what I can gather. Hopefully none of that's spoilers. I don't think it is because it's still within the early portions of the game.
I think the guy we interviewed at PAX West basically said that in the interview, so I'd assume.
Yep. So it's been really cool. It's really pretty. The music is really cool. The way you interact with the world is cool. The way you learn about the world is cool. I'm really excited to see what's going on with the story because I have a few ideas of like where things are going, you know, from trailers that I've seen as well as from different things I've picked up in the game. And I'm excited to see the significance of a few different portions of the game because I have a theory about like how you interact with the world because like I've seen in trailers, so I think it's fine to say, like, there are gardens that you make, and it's different. It's based on different, like, types of music, and I'm excited to see, because there's a few types of music that there are, like, primarily, and there's a portion of the game that I have a really good theory about.
So you've been playing some cool games, Darren?
Yeah, those are the only three I've been playing, really. I'm hoping to finish Mutazione this week and then start Elsinore from PAX. I haven't actually opened that game again, but it's like such a dark, weird story game that like I feel like you have to be in the right mindset to play.
Which one was
haven't
that?
Gotten there yet. Elsinore is the not Macbeth. Is it Macbeth? Oh god. The Shakespeare one. Hold on, I'll pull up the store page.
I'm not sure if I saw that one.
Hamlet. Elsinore is a time-looping adventure game set in Shakespeare's Hamlet. Elsinore combines strong social simulation elements, a dynamic story that reacts immediately to players' decisions, and a world full of diverse characters with secrets to uncover. It's basically, the devs described it as like Majora's Mask with Hamlet. So the things that you do affect the story.
Did you know that Lion King was just ripped off from Hamlet?
Yes. It's also ripped off of another one that's called like Kimba.
I've heard of that. I've heard that theory.
If you watch it's not a theory. If you watch this, it's like an older animated movie from like the 70s or 80s or something, and it's literally the same fucking story. But like the main character's name is Kimba instead of Simba.
Yikes.
It's the same goddamn thing.
All of Disney's movies are ripped off from somewhere. The movie Cars is just a rip off of Doc Hollywood. And
I don't know what that is.
It's who's the guy from Back to the Future?
And that's why Cars has succeeded.
Yeah. Yeah, I literally showed Erin Doc Hollywood the other day, and I was like, "This is Cars," and she's like, "I mean, there were some things like there." Freaking movies in the 80s and 90s would just show boobs without any reason. And I don't know what happened to society that just you can't.
You know
But
what I
they
mean?
just stopped showing boobs. It's disappointing. That's why Game of Thrones was so great. They showed so many boobs.
Only in really season 1, though.
That's a lie.
Oh, dude, it dramatically goes down after season 1. The amount
They show
of
boobs like
nudity.
3 times in
Dramatically.
season 1, and then it's probably like once per season after that, and then
Maybe. And then
you see
the
Emilia
last
Clarke's
2
boobs
seasons,
at
it's
least
like
3
barely anything.
times in the whole
Yeah.
thing.
By season 8, there's like no nudity.
Yeah, season 8's terrible. We don't talk about that. But season 7, you see Emilia Clarke's boobs again. Or no, it's season 6, isn't it? Because season 7, she is.
I don't remember
Daenerys
all
is
of the
over it.
times, in all honesty.
Teddy,
I
do
just
you
remember
remember
that
all the
she
times
burns down. She burns down. The calls thing when they're trying to put her on.
What
She
season
burns
is
it down, and then she's full frontal nudity.
Yeah.
Teddy Chinaris, what have you been playing?
Oh, it's just video games, man. You know, on the personal computer. Not actually on the personal computer. I've really only been playing, like, with life and whatnot. I've only been playing... I played the Call of Duty beta last weekend for, like, a night, and that was fun. What else? So yeah, I played the Modern Warfare beta last weekend. That was really fun. And there's another one this weekend with crossplay that ends tonight, but I don't know if I'm gonna be able to play it. But I haven't gotten the chance to play it again. But it is fun. If I were to get another game this fall, it would be that. But the only thing I'm really gonna be able to get is Link's Awakening, which I have now. That came out on Friday, but I haven't started it yet. But I got it forever ago with like the online voucher. The Switch online voucher where you can get 2 games. I bought like Fire Emblem and then I pre-ordered Link's Awakening. And I've actually been going back through Celeste, and that game is fucking incredible. That game is so goddamn good. You guys need to play it. It's so good. But
I've heard it's hard too.
it's very hard, but it's...
I don't like hard games.
The plot of the game. What's cool about it is the plot of the game is that things are hard, and it's about overcoming hard things.
It is about a girl named Madeline, or Madeline, I don't know. It's not...
Wait,
not,
why
like,
is her name not Celeste?
She's climbing Celeste Mountain. It's the name of the mountain. But yeah, she is there literally just trying to climb this mountain is the story. She meets characters along the way and whatnot, but like it's literally a story about like anxiety and depression. Like it is a story where they at one point she encounters like the dark version of herself, and like there's like
Spoilers.
metaphors for it, and like it's so good, and it's so great because you'll get to a moment where like the designers know that like this screen is gonna be a bit harder than the last couple screens, right? Like everything is paced so well, but like you'll get to a moment where they know it's going to be a little bit harder, and you'll die a couple times, and then like Madeline will stop and be like, you can do this, like, and then like you have to get to the top, like, and like you'll read that and you'll be like, I can do this, I have to get you to the top, and then you like keep going because you want to get her to the top. Like it's a whole thing where it's hard and you're getting frustrated, and right as you get frustrated, like you get past it, or there's a little line of encouragement from her, and
That sounds like it's really well made.
it's so good. And there's moments where it's like it's just getting a little frustrating, and as you go, and then you'll get to like a cutscene. Like it's just paced really well. The writing is really great, and the design is amazing, and the soundtrack is incredible. It's so good. But I'm on like I picked it up and I was on chapter 5 out of 8, but now there's the 9th chapter. but like that's like DLC. It's like an epilogue kind of thing. But the 8th chapter was like the final official one. So once I finished the 8th chapter, then I've beaten the game. I'm on like chapter 7, which is crazy. I'm getting close, but like the more it goes, the more I'm like, yes, it's so great. But it's like, it's so perfect for me where I'm at in my life right now. Like the story it's telling is so great. But yeah, I've been doing a weird thing where I'm actually committing and trying to beat a game. It's weird. But I've been going through Celeste, and I don't think I'm really gonna start much else until I beat that. I think I'm actually gonna like keep going on a singular game for once in my life instead of flipping between 6 different ones at one time. But Destiny 2 Shadowkeep literally comes out not this upcoming Tuesday, but next Tuesday. So like that's close. So I'll probably be playing that as well when that comes out. But yeah, that's what I've been playing.
I started a little game called Borderlands 3.
Yeah. I was going to say, not all, like, for the last couple of weeks, there's been, like, big games. And, like, every time we go on the podcast, none of us have been playing them. Like, Gears 5 came out. That was huge. Gears 5 has incredible reviews. Like, I would love to play it. None of us have played it. Control came out. That was huge. That's a big one
that's
recently.
One I definitely
would love
play.
to play Control. None of us played it. Astral Chain came out. That's a big one too.
I've never heard of that.
It's a big.
What is Astral Chain?
It's a Switch one.
Yeah.
It's a Switch exclusive by Platinum Games, and it's like very anime. So
I don't know if that one's for me. Control seems so cool. The problem with that one is apparently runs poorly on consoles.
I've heard that there was a patch though, so it is better.
Well, yeah, we'll see how much of an improvement that is. So
I've heard it's pretty significant. Yeah. That patch is a pretty good boost.
But yeah, so I loaded up the Epic Game Store because Control is only on the Epic Game Store on PC. And then I was like, oh, yeah, Borderlands. I should probably play that. And ended up getting that on my laptop and played through a little bit. I'm playing Flak. I got, through a few missions very, very early on. And then some smaller games that I've been super excited about from, well, the one that I've been super excited about came out, Sayonara Wild Hearts. It is really cool. It takes about an hour and a half, probably an hour if you're like good. And you're just like playing through this album of songs. Each song is a level. And the way they like combine the visuals and the gameplay is so amazing. Like it feels so good to play. And there were so many times, like it has a tarot card astrology feel to it. They use tarot cards to lay out the different characters in the game. Like they'll show you a tarot card, and then that tarot card will turn into your motorcycle, and you're riding that motorcycle through the level. And then they'll show you like, oh, this bad guy is this tarot card, and such and such. But yeah, there was like a really cool level where you were fighting one person, and then you get this giant sword and you chop them in half and they turn into 2 people. And then basically they were snapping along with the beat of the song. And depending on, like, they would alternate which of the 2 of them was snapping. And as they snapped, you jump between different realities. So you had to like know which reality you're jumping into and where the obstacles are going to be at that reality. And it was so like, it took me forever, but it was like the entire time it's happening, I'm like, this is so cool. I am blown away by the entire game. I've seen people talk, like everyone I've seen play this is just like, this was amazing. Some people said they cried at the end. That didn't, affect me. My girlfriend said she was feeling emotions, but It's like I've got the album on Spotify, and I was like listening to it, and I was just like, I want to play it again. It's you can play it through the entire game in like an hour, and it's so awesome to have these games that you can just like start and finish and be like, I played the game. It's so nice. Another game that I had been on my radar for a while, but all the like videos and stuff I've seen from it, I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna pick it up. Untitled Goose Game. It is a game where you are a goose who's basically like the entire game is just you being a dick to humans. And like, so you'll be able to honk and you'll be able to grab things. And that's basically all you're able to do. And you'll have a like to-do list, and they'll be like, get the gardener wet, steal the gardener's keys, and then there'll be like bonus ones where you can be like, lock the gardener out of his garden. and yeah, so it's just like a cool deal where you have to do this like to-do list stuff, and obviously like it involves a lot of like stealing or fucking with the humans, and so you got to kind of be like stealthy about it. So you have to like steal the gardener's radio without him noticing and go take it to a picnic basket because the goose is gonna have a little picnic. So you have like this whole list of stuff that you have to steal to do it, and then once you complete enough of your to-do list, the humans will start putting up like anti-goose signs, and by doing that, that's going to allow you an opportunity to leave that area and enter a new one. Like in that first area, when the gardener goes to hammer in the anti-goose sign, you can honk at him, and he will hammer his own thumb and then fall backwards onto the fence, allowing you to escape through the fence and stuff. And then like there's God, like watching videos from it are so cool. Like there's like a kid who's scared of the goose, and you can untie his shoelaces, scare him, and make him trip, and then steal his glasses, so he's just like wandering around blind.
Oh my god!
And then like
goose is a menace. Somebody's got to put a stop to him.
But yeah, there's like I want to say like 6 areas. And then you get to the end, and you realize, okay, you see a thing that like was at the beginning, and you're like, oh, I need to bring this and bring it back to the whole thing. And then you have to go through all of the areas that you had been through, but now all the people are just looking for you. They are after you. So you have to be in super stealth mode. And it's a very fun game. It's like, it's just like a goofy game, and it's great to like play when you have friends over, and just so everybody can like laugh at like you fucking with the humans as this crazy goose. Both Sayonara Wild Hearts and Untitled Goose Game, I think we're about $13 to $15. I think Sayonara Wild Hearts is always going to be about $14, but I think Untitled Goose Game right now is on sale for 25% off.
I love how it's literally titled Untitled.
Yeah.
Goose Game. It's great.
I saw a Twitter post from them of like, we see people saying that the title of our game is Untitled Goose Game. It's like, no, the game does not have a title. It is Untitled Goose Game. Also, a game I've been working on for a while, I have finished, called Pokémon Moon. I've been figured I'd play through that to prepare for Sword and Shield, so I can have all the cool Incineroars and the other Pokemon that are in that game.
The only one I know, cause Smash.
Yeah. I honestly I think the grass type one looks the coolest, but I was like, I do want to have an amiibo of my main Pokemon, so I picked the Incineroar one.
There you go.
It actually, Pokemon Moon has a really cool story. There's a whole there's Team Skull, which is like the Team Rocket of this island. It's a Hawaii-based one. And then there's like a mystery going on. And the story and the characters was kind of one of my favorite. I'll say I played the first and second Pokemon, and I think I skipped a bunch of generations. I think I tried to jump back in on the first one that went 3D, which I think was X and Y. And I don't know. I think the way they did the 3D, at least in some of the areas, just got really confusing. Especially in that one was like Paris based, and the way Paris was the big circle, I just kept getting lost there. And eventually, I was just like, I don't know where I'm supposed to go. I'm done. So I never finished that one. But Pokemon Moon kept me attached the entire way, kind of like, and also, I mean, they don't have proper Pokemon gyms in Sun and Moon. It's island challenges. And I think like early on they were like, oh, this seems like it's taking a little bit. By the time the Team Skull like storyline started really clicking, like I felt like I was going through the island challenges without even noticing it. They're just like, hey, battle me. And I'm like, okay. And they're like, you completed an island challenge. And I'm like, oh, I just thought you were a dude. Okay. But yeah, I will say the final battle, the Elite Four and the champion deal was one of the hardest I fought. Like the island challenges up to that point were pretty cake, but that final battle like was one of the hardest. And I don't know if I just wasn't leveled right or my team just had really bad IVs, but like I just had to go in with just a shit ton of revives and just was like reviving constantly to get through them. But I managed to finish it. It was cool. And now I am the great Pokemon League champion, like a little kid we might know, Ash Ketchum.
Oh wow, look at that.
Ash Ketchum has finally won the Pokemon League in the anime. They are going through the Sun and Moon storyline in the anime, and this is the first time he has ever won a proper Pokemon League. He in the past has, won the Orange Island League, which isn't like a proper league, but in the past there's a picture in the Kanto region he came in in the top 16. In the Johto region he came in the top 8. Hoenn he came in top 8. Sinnoh top 4. Unava top 8. In the Kalos region he was runner up, but in Alola he finally came away with the top spot, which is very cool. Like the anime has been running for 22 years and he has finally won a proper Pokemon League. That
is I don't know. I everybody was like, "Oh, congrats, he finally did the whole thing." And as somebody who, wasn't super into Pokemon or anything when I was younger and I didn't really watch the anime, I was like, he hasn't won. Like I figured it would be like end of season 1. He finally he goes out there, wins he's moving on. I don't know. I figured he'd win a bunch by now. I was like shocked by this news more than anything that he hadn't already. I was like,
I just want to clarify, it's pronounced Unova.
Okay, I figured I was pronouncing them wrong.
I think you mispronounced both of them, but that one I was like, what the fuck did you just say? What region is he talking about?
Well, we were watching Pokemon Sun and Moon because it's on Netflix. They don't have the most recent episodes with him winning. We were just kind of watching to see what was going on in that anime. And there was a guy making pineapple juice, and Aaron's was like, I thought it was pineapple juice, and I was like, it's not. It's pineapple because pineapples.
That makes sense.
Yep. So it's hard to know how things are pronounced just by reading them. But you guys know what one of the buttons on the PlayStation controller is how that's pronounced?
I do,
X.
actually. It's a cross button.
It's
It
X?
is not, Teddy Chinarius. PlayStation says it is pronounced.
This is a joke.
The cross button is not. It's pronounced X, and that is the end of the news story.
Real talk, it has
us.
been a cross button for years.
They're doing April Fool's joke in September, and they're wrong. It's X.
So the biggest thing to come out of this is that people didn't already know this. Like it's been crossed for years. Like that's a Japanese thing. Like it's a thing.
I mean that makes sense
since like the
because
PS3 days.
there's a bunch of animes that there's an X in it, but it's cross. So it
Yeah,
makes
like
sense.
it's a Japanese thing. But like it's
But in America,
yeah, I mean, I've known that, but like I still call it X because it's easier. But like, you know,
I mean, it also makes sense because all the other buttons are shapes.
Yeah.
So it's a cross shape, but still, it's an X
but
button.
it hurts my soul.
I will never say I'm gonna press the. You gotta press the cross button.
I mean, to be fair, it would differentiate between the 3 controllers if you did.
Yeah,
What is it called on the Switch?
I would, because Nintendo's Japanese too. This is a good point. Maybe the Xbox one is the only one that's actually X.
No, they're all X.
Think about
Don't
it.
lie to me.
I'm pretty sure on like.
No, on the Switch it's definitely X because the other ones are all letters.
Yeah,
Oh, that's true.
X, Y, A, B.
I'm pretty sure.
But isn't that also... Sorry. Isn't that also what they are on the Xbox controller?
Yeah. Dude, how
So
dumb is
that's
that, by the way? I hate it.
Why does PlayStation gotta ruin everything? Come on, Sony. Why you do this to me?
What I hate is the differing, like, Nintendo and Xbox both have A, B, X, and Y, but they're in different spots. They're all in different spots. It's awful. Why are you doing this to me?
Well, maybe I'll go down to GameStop and ask them what they call the buttons.
Oh, maybe you will, but too bad if you live in an area with one of these 180 to 200 GameStops that are going to be shut down. From an article on gamesindustry.biz by Rebecca Valentines, who I believe, wasn't she on one of the panels that we...
I believe she was competing in the kind of funny interwebsite.
But wasn't she also on that other panel? The panel with Alex?
I don't know.
Or was that a different girl?
I think that was somebody else.
But yeah, it says, during today's GameStop's Q2 earnings call, the company announced it would be closing between 180 and 200 underperforming stores globally between now and the end of the year. So yeah, GameStop's CFO James Bell said that over 5,700 stores worldwide are stating that 95% of those are profitable. Nonetheless, the company is beginning to roll out an ongoing plan that will also result in even more store closures in the next 2 years. And also, there was a video going around Twitter of like a test store in like Michigan or something like that. It was like a test GameStop where they're like they switched out the layout and it's like a totally new kind of layout. And it was like a leaked video. It wasn't super new or whatever, but it was interesting. So that's one of the things that they're doing with the restructuring as well over the next 2 years. Is some GameStops are going to be like esports centered, where people can come and watch like esports stuff, and some of them are going to be like board game like kind of thing. Like there's an area in the back where people can play board games and stuff. So they're trying a bunch of new stuff, which they should. So good luck, GameStop.
That's dope.
The most exciting part
shitty.
about that is that they are going to start selling retro games again, is what I've
I don't think it's at all of them, but yeah, it's some of them.
Yeah, they have been trying some weird stuff lately. They were selling cell phones at one point, and it was just like, focus on the games. That's why your GameStop.
They were selling cell phones and all sorts of stuff like that for years. Like those when I was in like high school.
It was a weird decision.
I don't know. It's used electronics.
But speaking of non-weird decisions, and it's totally a normal thing, Nintendo Ring Fit Adventure is coming to the Nintendo Switch.
I don't know about that.
Did you say not a weird thing? Because you're wrong.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Nintendo is just very determined for gamers to be physically fit. I mean, there was Wii Fit, there was the Wii Balance Board. There, like, original Nintendo had track and field with the pad that you ran on. Like, I feel like every Nintendo console has to have some sort of fitness device, and this one is Ring Fit Adventure.
You know what my favorite fitness is?
What? Oh god, are you gonna say fit in this
pizza
whole
in my mouth?
Okay.
As he asked, then he's like, "Oh no, you're gonna say it." Oh my goodness.
Anyway,
I hate the
so
word fitness.
Ring Fit Adventure comes with 2 accessories, a thing to attach your Joy-Con to your leg, and a ring to fit your other Joy-Con into. And you will be playing this game by actually running with your actual feet in place, obviously not like running around the neighborhood. Though I wonder if you somehow they have a VR headset. Could you fit all these things together and play it in VR? That'd be sick and also
that sounds
horrible.
Terrible.
But it's an RPG, which is the kind of most interesting part about it. You will be battling creatures, and to do damage to them, you do workouts, and there'll be all sorts of different workouts, and they will be weak to different types of workouts, and it just seems like a very weird, kind of cool exercise game for the Nintendo Switch.
This is a game you will not be finishing in one attempt.
Yeah.
Jesus, that sounds exhausting.
Teichinera, you gonna play Nintendo's Ring Fit Adventure?
No way. If I had unlimited money, sure, just to mess around, you know.
How much does it cost?
Great. It's like $80, I think, but it with the ring and the game.
That's a one-time gym membership. Teddy.
Yeah. It's fair.
I'm on it. Is there multiplayer mode?
That's 8 months of my gym membership.
Your gym membership is only $10 a month?
Yeah.
No.
Is it a good gym?
Well, did they
Is it
charge
Planet
you?
Fitness?
Which is not great, but it's the cheapest one, so works out.
Did they charge you a bunch of money up front of sign-up fees and stuff?
It was cheaper the first month.
Wow, I've seen gyms that'll be like, "We'll waive our sign-up fee," and it's like, why do I have to pay more to sign up?
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna get 8 months worth of fitness from the Nintendo Ring.
I mean, of all of Nintendo's fitness games, I feel like this is the coolest one because it's actually an adventure. It is a fantasy deal with actual boss battles, and it's an RPG. I mean, it's not like you're battling creatures, but you're not leveling up unless you can. I don't remember.
I like doing yoga.
Well, just
on
yoga.
My balance board.
Yoga all the baddies.
What?
No, that sounds like the opposite of what you want to do when you're doing yoga.
I will. Okay.
Yoga battle. Wait, hold on.
So here's
Here's
the
relaxing
thing.
battle.
Nintendo made their VR headset, and obviously they made the games for that, but they've also put in VR mode in other games. Like you can do VR in Smash Brothers and in Zelda, and it would be cool if they incorporated this into other games, to run in Breath of the Wild. You could attach the thing to your leg and just do that.
No.
Yeah, I don't think that's cool at all. That sounds awful.
That'd be cool. They should do it.
Don't do that.
Nintendo, I know you listen to this podcast. It's your favorite. Mr. Doug
It's
Bowser.
fine.
The great and wonderful Doug Bowser has biggest fan probably, maybe.
Wow.
Probably not.
Probably
actually.
not. And he's could think of doing that. But until he does, there's another company who wants you to play more video games. And it's not Nintendo. It's Apple.
They probably want it too.
I mean, maybe. But Apple Arcade is the new service that was launched recently for $4.99 a month. Basically, it is a subscription fee that will allow you to play a bunch of games on your Apple devices. Many well-known games, obviously there are phone games, but there's stuff like Exit the Gungeon, the sequel to Enter the Gungeon. There's Overland, a post-apocalyptic road trip game that's available on other consoles and stuff. There is Pac-Man Party Royale. Darian.
Pac-Man Party Royale.
We played that at the arcade.
Great.
If it's the same thing we played in the arcade, it's actually pretty cool. But it allows you to play.
You can tell by Darian's enthusiastic response.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it allows you to play all
It says
these.
brand new. So, and Pac-Man Party Royale is not brand new.
Well, maybe it's
Been out for a few years.
I mean, technically, I think the one that we played was Pac-Man Battle Royale.
Pac-Man Party is a Wii game.
Yikes.
It combines the
This
best.
is a fucking joke, is what it is.
Okay, so it's has a lot of games. There's another article from The Verge, kind of talking about some of these cool games. Sayonara Wild Hearts, that's available. You should, if you have Apple Arcade, you should play that. And like that's the cool thing about this is that it's $5. And so basically for the price of one of these games, less than the price of many of these games, you can play all of these games for a month at a time. And yeah, so Apple's getting into this subscription game service.
I don't know if you already said this or not. You probably did. But isn't there no microtransactions in them?
Yeah, I didn't mention that. Yeah,
Okay.
the games don't have microtransactions. For that $5 a month, you get to play the full experience. They're not going to ask you for any more money.
That alone is like, I wish I had an iPhone. of an Android, but like that sounds great because I am constantly looking for games that just don't ask me. Like it doesn't even have to be like egregious like microtransactions, but at a certain point, I just want one. Right? Desert Golfing is one of my favorite mobile games because it's so simple and it doesn't ask you for anything more. You know, it's great. Shout out to Desert Golfing, best $2 I've ever spent.
Darian, does Colonel Sanders ever ask you for anything more?
What does the Colonel want from you, Darian? That's the real question. What does he want?
It's not about what Colonel Sanders wants from you. It's what I want from Colonel Sanders, and that's to fuck him, obviously.
Whoa.
Well, how would
At
you...
least that's what this game makes me believe, because the KFC is publishing, I love you, Colonel Sanders, a finger-licking good dating simulator. It's a real game where you romance the Colonel. It releases for free. It'll be out by the time this episode comes out, and I will have finished it. There's 9 romanceable options. I don't know if that means that I get to romance Colonel Sanders 9 different ways, or if I get to romance the rivals, but you know,
maybe there's different maybe there's 9 different like colonels like throughout history, you know what I mean?
It's a time traveling adventure.
Sure. No,
This
I
is
just mean
awesome.
like there've been different
That'd be
Colonel
wild.
Sanders throughout time, you know, they've been
says-
changed
yeah.
his look.
I suppose he's all anime-like, so I don't know how they're gonna portray 9 different anime versions of Colonel Sanders. They totally can. I've
would be
seen
great.
things similar, but
Here's my question. Why is it 9 and not 11? For the 11,
Oh, that's a good
11
point.
secret herbs and spices.
Yeah, that's like KFC's known for like the 11
Yeah.
herbs and spices in their chicken. That's a good point. Probably because they didn't care enough.
Yeah, they were like, no, this isn't that one. This isn't the herbs
they
and
weren't
spices.
being clever. They were just making a dating sim, because that's the hot new thing, is to have a dating sim for everything, including your fast food choices.
Dude, the like
It's a real
art style
thing.
and the trailer, like if they were just like, this is a new anime, I'd be like, okay, I'll watch this.
buy
I would honestly watch it. I'd
Yeah,
be like,
it looks so good.
I'm playing the game.
Yeah,
It comes out on Tuesday.
it is free. I will probably play this. This looks dope.
I'm good.
Bryce is gonna date Colonel Sanders.
Well, hopefully, maybe there's a girl Colonel Sanders on the table. There's nine options
on the
so-
table. I see what you did there. Just like that fried chicken.
I don't even like KFC.
Yeah,
It's
My
gotten
Colonel-
better over the years.
It's still bad.
It's
Yeah, I mean,
it's all based
you know,
on
it's
the
not
like
great, but
one you have.
that's
because-
also very true.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's very true with almost any fast food place.
The chicken is never crispy. It's never like fresh. It's always like it's been sitting under a heat lamp for 4 hours. It's disgusting.
Yeah, it's not good, dude. I'm telling you, man. Fast food, even though it is like corporate, there's so many. Like you could have one that's just so terrible and like it's an awful experience, but then you have one in a different city and you're like, it's my favorite place.
Oh yeah,
There's so it's so like how it's ran, like the manager of that store like has such a huge impact. It's crazy. Even though it's like the exact same ingredients and instructions and stuff.
The Domino's in my town is so good. I will eat there all the time. But when we went to Seattle, we saw a Domino's and I was like, "Oh, awesome." A, the food was more expensive, and B, it wasn't as good. So when people are like, Domino's sucks, I'm like, oh, I get it. Your Domino's sucks. Mine is really good.
Falls Domino's sucks.
Like
that Domino's was fine.
It was
fine.
It was fine. It was not up to my Domino's standards. My Domino's man would go in there and be like, "What do you do?" Like he would kitchen nightmares that place.
Honestly, though, like when we were waiting for the pizza, that was shitty. The employees did not want to be there. It was horrible. You could tell how much they just loathed where they were. And that's probably what made it. I bet the food was fine, but I bet the experience beforehand, you were like, this is going to be bad. I had a bad time waiting for it.
That'll affect it.
But we'll make sure you have a good time listening to this podcast. Being a Patreon producer.
Maybe
that sounds more like a threat.
Yeah, don't preface it like you're gonna get a bad podcast unless you give us money. The good podcast is behind the paywall.
Well, if you want to, I would think that hearing your favorite podcasters say how much we care for you will improve your podcast listening experience. So I just want to take a moment to say, hey, Aaron C., wherever you are, you're awesome. Thank you for being a Patreon producer and going to patreon.com/lastgeek and supporting. And I want to thank a new patron, Andrew Feisner.
This isn't the first time his name's been on the show.
Yeah, but this is his return. So thank you, Andrew Feisner, for your glorious return. And
glorious return. I like it.
Yeah, thanks, Andrew. We're not going to say your last name anymore.
Bryce is.
I think it's Feisner.
Yeah.
If I had to guess, but,
It's fine.
we're going to call you Andrew F. Because it's Aaron C.
That works.
I hope it is. Tweet at me if it's not.
Yeah, we include the names that says on Patreon. Like when Dragons was a patron, his thing came up as Dragons Lucas. So I read the names that it gives me.
Yeah, and I struggled with that one for many shows.
Yeah.
We should have just quit while we were ahead and said, like, hey, thanks, D.
Dragons just, no, here's your money back. We're sorry.
We can't say your name. Our minimum requirement.
But thank you, Aaron and Andrew, for helping make this show possible. Now, for the topic of the show. This one is very pertinent due to the Apple Arcade's existence. With the rise of movie, music, and now video game subscription services, is it okay that we don't own our entertainment?
Is that the baseline question?
Yeah. Obviously, there's plenty of, we can buy games and all of that, but like all of these subscription services are encouraging you to basically subscribe to it, not own it, not buy it.
Is it okay that we don't own our entertainment?
Yeah.
It is okay. It's not. It also has a lot of problems. That's what I'll say. Like, it's good. You can do it if you want it, but you gotta understand what you're getting into. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, I would say that now more than ever, it's more okay due to the fact of, like, are you that likely to go back and play Borderlands 2? Like, if you have one of these subscription services and they're like, here's more games, look at all these games, there's more coming out every moment.
It also depends on the type of person you are.
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of people that would just go back and play Borderlands too. Like, I know a lot of people that go back and play their old games. Like,
yeah.
But some people don't. Some people just move on to the next one. Some people just play World of Warcraft for their lives. So it depends on who you are and what you want to do. Subscription services and not owning your games in general are good. But it's like, it's good because it's cheap. You know what I mean? Like, it lets you get in there. But it's not great because you don't own it.
Yeah, I guess, I mean, it allows you to try more things. Yeah. Like, I mean, Netflix is a great, I mean, I did open this up to entertainment in general because, like I listen to my music on Spotify. I watch my movies and TV on Netflix. And then, like, I mean, in terms of, like, game stuff, I have PlayStation Plus. If that goes away, I lose access to all those games. Technically, I can go back and play all those games I've gotten through the service, but if my subscription lapses, I lose access to them. Yeah. Xbox Game Pass, that's the same case. And for that one, I believe games will no longer be, like, they will remove games from Game Pass. It's not, the library doesn't just keep growing. Like, they'll take games out.
Yeah, they take games out, but I don't think it's a set number. Like, every time they add in, they take out. But it is like they do take them out every now and then and stuff like that. They've added some new ones pretty recently. Game Pass is so great.
Yeah. So yeah, like, I think I love the idea of the Apple Arcade. It's like, like, I can try out all these games, but then at the, you got to go, like, if I stop having the subscription, I can't play them anymore. I don't own them. If I ever get in a bad financial situation, I can't go, I'll play Sayonara Wild Hearts again. Oh, wait, that was tied to the subscription. It's not mine.
Yeah.
Darian, how do you feel about media subscriptions?
I think they're great for discovering if you like something or not, and then once you discover you do, then you should make the next step and go directly support it. Like, I'm all about, Spotify. I use that. But when I have an album that I, like, click with really, really well, I'll go buy it. Like, I always go the next step with something like, I really like this movie on Netflix. I'm going to go buy it so I can watch it when they take it off Netflix, because that's inevitable.
That is the lesson that I learned a long time ago with my beloved show Avatar: The Last Airbender. When they took it off, I was like, what am I going to do? And then they put it back up on Amazon Prime for a while, and then they took it off of there, and I was like, well now it's over. So I, like, that is one of the shows, and, like, shows and movies I don't really, like, buy physically very often, but, like, that is one where I was like, I want to have this on a disc so that I can, like, if the apocalypse happens, right, at least I have Avatar.
Yeah.
It's preserved for history. And
yeah,
like,
well, like, not even that, like, not only that, but, like, internet goes down every once in a while. And it seems like we have no idea what the fuck to do with ourselves when that happens. But I have like 600 DVDs. Like, we have a huge DVD collection that is ever expanding because I don't ever want to not be able to access something that I want to see.
You gotta get the Blu-rays though.
I have like 50 Blu-rays.
Okay, good.
We've transitioned to purchasing Blu-rays now, unless it's like, well, this is $3, we're gonna get this DVD. But, like, for the most part, we're getting Blu-rays now. But yeah, same idea.
Yeah, I think if you're gonna buy the thing, you buy, like, the best quality thing of it, because, like, I think Netflix streaming is probably about the same quality you'd get off a DVD. But, like,
I guess it depends on your internet.
Yeah, I suppose.
Because it does the automatic thing on Netflix for sure.
If you got really bad internet, then it's gonna look.
Then you're not watching
rough.
Netflix.
Yeah. Actually, I've had a really bad connection. I watched Netflix on my Wii at one point, and it worked. It didn't work great, but it worked.
No thanks. I'll just pop a DVD and watch.
I
hate like messing with discs, so I'll buy like the.
Okay, so that is the biggest problem with Avatar. I wish I would have watched it so many times on the Blu-ray. There's so many discs. And you have to keep track of where you were, right? So if I watch an episode and then I come back a month later and like, okay, let's continue our rewatch. You know, my life is less busy. I can watch this. Then I'm like, wait, what episode did I end on? And it's like I have to figure out the one on the disc. And it's also weird just because of my setup. So like I can't really watch it on my monitor. It's a whole thing, but it's still good to have them. But discs can be infuriating sometimes.
Yeah, so I think it's great for discovery, but if you love a game, buy it because more directly helps the developers, and you don't have to worry about losing it because you never know. It could be a Telltale situation, you never know where your favorite games are gonna happen.
Yeah.
This brings us to the questions and comments. Darian, did you want to do the thing?
Sure.
Okay.
Do you want to be a part of the show? Go to readysetgamecast.com/submit, you cowards. Submit a question, comment, or your favorite anime for us to read.
Okay, then. We have no questions, comments, or animes. So this brings us to housekeeping.
Was that good? Was that a good way to do that?
I was so were you just gonna be like, do it, you cowards, and then stop? And I was like, is she done?
That would have been great. That was perfect. It was a perfect pause.
Nailed it.
Okay, this brings us to housekeeping. Go to lastgeek.com for links to the podcast on all your favorite podcast services, including iTunes, Spotify, and Stitcher, as well as the video version on youtube.com/lastgeek. Also, if you like the show, please subscribe, rate, and review it on iTunes and Stitcher. It helps us grow and become more powerful. Okay, other Last Geek stuff you should check out. There's actually a lot. New Game Make Corp episode. The merch store exists. Go get stuff from there. It exists.
Go check it out.
The Move or Die Let's Play is out. We all played Move or Die. There's a cool video of it happening on youtube.com/lastgeek. Also, if you go to youtube.com/lastgeek, you will see interviews from PAX West 2019, Spirit Fair, the game that Darian's currently playing.
Mutazione.
That one. Boyfriend Dungeon and No Straight Roads interviews are up. You get to learn a little bit more about the game and what makes them special. I did two of them, and Darian did two of them. I was trying to remember what the split was. Also, we will have interviews from 2D Con going up soon as well. They are mostly ready, so expect them probably by the time this podcast's up. But this brings us to the end of the episode where we ask Darian where people can find her.
Twitch.tv/dexterity, Twitter.com, Twitter.tv too. Fuck it. Let's see if I'm there. Twitter.com/dexterity, Instagram, and that's it.
Teddy Chinaris, what's your handle?
It is Teddy Chinaris. Twitch.tv/Teddy Chinaris and Twitter.com/Teddy Chinaris and also Twitter.tv/Teddy Chinaris. You can find me there very rarely now because life, but you can find me there playing all sorts of Vigi games. Hopefully some Shadowkeep stuff. I've got to. There's not been a think about this. Destiny is 5 years old. There has not been a single release that I did not play on launch. I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna make time for it. So I'm sure you'll see that. Twitter.tv does not work, by the way.
Somebody buy Twitter.tv. They probably own it. They just don't use it.
If they didn't, that'd be shocking.
You can follow me on Twitter.com/LastGeek. You can follow me on Instagram.com/LastGeekPlays. You can follow me on Twitch at LastGeekPlays. You can follow me on Mixer at LastGeek. You can follow me on Facebook at LastGeek. I think that's all the social media platforms. LastGeek.com for the links to the the podcast files, and YouTube.com/LastGeek for the podcast videos, the Let's Plays, the interviews, and all that great content that you love. Thank you for listening to this great content, and we will see you again in 2 weeks. Goodbye.
Bye. I'm just gonna hold it.
Seriously, though. Goodbye.
God.